Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you've been staring at your credit card bills lately and just feeling that absolute crushing weight of consumer debt, I want you to know you are exactly where you need to be right now. Today, we're diving into our source material to break down a totally sustainable, psychology-backed framework for paying off your first $5,000 in consumer debt. And honestly, the best part, we're going to do it without destroying your sanity, your social life, or your motivation. You know, there's this saying that most debt advice sounds like punishment. And man, if you've ever searched for ways to pay off debt, you have definitely felt this. The financial gurus out there love to tell you to sell absolutely everything you own, survive on plain oatmeal, and basically have zero fun until every last cent is paid off. And sure, that might work for, maybe 2 weeks, but then reality hits. You get tired, you get emotionally drained, and completely burned out. Stripping all the joy from your life literally always leads to a massive cheat day, which then just spirals right back into more spending. Just look at these stark contrast here. The traditional grind culture demands this exhausting, endless sacrifice. Honestly, it's miserable just thinking about working 4 jobs and never eating out again. But here's the thing. The real problem with that payoff isn't that you lack discipline. It's that we, as humans, are just terrible at sticking to systems that feel painful forever. Instead, we really need a new, realistic paradigm. We're talking sustainable progress, a system your brain can actually survive and thrive in. Okay, let's dive in exactly how to do this step by step. All right, let's jump straight into section 1, stop the financial bleeding. They say debt grows quietly, like a leak in a bucket. And this is such a brilliant analogy because it clears up a massive misconception. People rarely go broke from one giant catastrophic purchase. Instead, they go broke from the quiet, almost invisible combination of random late-night Amazon orders, food deliveries, and tiny impulse buys at the register. The bucket isn't overflowing all at once, It's just leaking, drop by drop. So how do we actually plug that leak? Well, here is your rapid-fire, completely actionable checklist to freeze the damage right now. First up, pause all unnecessary shopping. Just put it on hold. Next, I want you to go into your phone today and remove your saved credit cards from your apps. You have to add a layer of friction to your spending. Third, hit unsubscribe on all those temptation emails that constantly ping your inbox with flash sales. And finally, stop using debt to fund lifestyle upgrades. Look, you definitely don't need to become ultra cheap, but you absolutely need the awareness to stop creating new debt. Which brings us to section 2, the sustainable payoff psychology. Okay, this is the absolute most crucial trick, and it's the one that almost all finance gurus completely miss. You have to keep one guilt-free happiness expense. Seriously, if your debt payoff plan removes literally all joy from your life, your brain is just going to rebel against it. You need an outlet. So pick one thing. Maybe it's your gym membership, your weekend gaming subscription, or even your daily fancy coffee. Whatever it is, keep that one thing. Remember, sustainable progress always beats extreme suffering. The goal isn't to look like the most disciplined person on earth. The goal is to actually escape the debt. Now let's look at this number, $5,000. For most of us, staring at the total amount we owe is incredibly intimidating. It's just a big, scary number. When you look at the big picture all at once, it almost always induces panic, anxiety, and ultimately total paralysis. It feels like a massive mountain you can't possibly climb, so you just don't even want to start. But let's reframe that for a second. Instead of one massive boulder of $5,000, what if you think of it as 50 chunks of $100? This is what we call the painkiller method. By breaking that scary total amount down into small, bite-sized pieces, we make the math emotionally manageable. Suddenly, finding $100 feels like a totally solvable puzzle, rather than a massive crisis you can't escape. And because every single payment is now a visible, tangible win, you really need to track it. We humans are absolutely addicted to progress. I mean, it's exactly why video games are so ridiculously engaging, right? By tracking these tiny victories, you're gamifying the entire process. So, put up a whiteboard, change your phone wallpaper to a tracker, use a spreadsheet, or literally put sticky notes on your bathroom mirror. Do whatever it takes to make your progress visual and real. It's going to keep your motivation absolutely sky high. All right, moving on to section 3, temporarily boost your income. Now listen closely to this part. We are not falling into the trap of hustling 18 hours a day forever. We are executing what's called the income sprint. Step 1, pick a temporary gig. Step 2, and this is totally vital, define your finish line. Step 3, bank that extra $300 to $500 a month straight towards your debt. Framing this as a finite, short-term sprint is the real secret here. A temporary sacrifice feels 1,000 times easier when you can clearly see the finish line right in front of you. You aren't working this side gig forever. You are simply buying back your freedom. So what does this actually look like in the real world? Well, here is a quick list of highly realistic side hustles. You could take on some freelance projects, do a little bit of weekend work, or honestly just sell the unused stuff that's sitting in your closet gathering dust. There's tutoring, content creation, driving for delivery apps, or even offering AI services online. Bringing in just a few hundred extra dollars a month through these simple methods will dramatically speed up your journey to that beautiful zero balance. But let's take a quick time out and ask a really deep question. Why do people spend? I mean, if it was just about math, nobody would be in debt. We all know how addition and subtraction work, right? So what is actually driving the behavior behind the scenes? That brings us perfectly to section 4, the emotional resolution. Let's walk through this absolutely devastating cycle together. A huge chunk of debt isn't mathematical at all, it's emotional. You feel stressed, maybe embarrassed, lonely, or anxious. So what do? You spend some money to get a quick temporary hit of relief. But then that spending creates more debt, which in turn creates more stress, which leads you right back to spending again. It is a vicious, endless loop. People so often use consumer purchases just to self-soothe their anxiety. Realizing this is happening is literally the first step to finally breaking the chain. I really want you to take this next part to heart. Debt is not your identity. It's just a financial situation. You have got to stop treating yourself like a total failure. That cycle of shame, it actually causes you to spend more money. A situation can always be changed with a fresh system and a little bit of time. So give yourself some grace, drop the shame, and let's just focus on the mechanics of fixing it. And that leads us to our final section, section 5, the real goal, which is ultimate financial control. See, the real price here isn't just hitting zero, it's the skill set you earn along the way. By conquering this debt, you are forcing yourself to learn how to budget effectively. You're learning absolute spending control. You're building ironclad discipline, and you're finally unpacking and understanding your own money psychology. These are the exact absolute skills you require to take permanent control of your financial future long after this current debt is just a memory. And I'll leave you with this really encouraging truth. The first $5,000 is the hardest. It just is. But once you clear this initial hurdle, something truly amazing happens. That constant, heavy pressure, it disappears. The panic you feel every single time your phone buzzes goes away. For the first time in years, your paycheck will actually feel like it belongs to you again. The momentum you build right here, right now, will carry you through literally any financial challenge you face in the future. So I want to leave you with one final provocative question to think about. Are you going to let a temporary financial situation define your identity? Or will you use this realistic system we just talked about to buy back your freedom starting today? The framework is completely laid out for you. Stop the bleeding, keep that one joy, chunk those scary numbers down, and run that income sprint to the finish line. The choice is entirely yours. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I genuinely hope you start your journey to freedom today.